Hello. I'm Sandy Walden of Serenity, your Master Grief Coach and Master Grief Coach trainer. Something that I talk to people about on a regular basis when they are grieving is open your mind and your heart to possibilities. The truth is, this can be said about all topics. For instance, there's somebody I know and appreciate so much who's a complete vegetarian who sees eating of any meat as murder. I honor and respect that point of view. And even while I do, if you ask me what my favorite food is, I'm probably going to tell you that I'd like a steak with asparagus and either some crab or shrimp. Does this make me wrong? Does it make her wrong? What if we each have different experiences and beliefs? Any issue can become a hot topic issue. Here in the U.S. right now, it seems that there's a lot of flame throwing about gun control, climate control, what some are calling abortion rights, what others are calling life, right to live for babies. And there's a lot of saying, well, you are this because you believe that. And there's a lot of name calling, there's a lot of bullying, there's a lot of shaming. I don't hear a lot of listening. In the grief world, this can be true too. I will often hear, it never gets better, it only gets worse. I will never shut down that person. Instead, I'd like to ask them, can you tell me about this? Because my experience has been different. My experience has been different. When somebody tells me, well, the worst pain you can feel is losing your parent, your child, your sibling, your person, your spouse, whoever this is, what if my experience is different? When someone tells me the only way you can get through this is fill in the blank. Or they say you can never do that. Fill in the blank. I would like to open that conversation up and say, can you tell me more? And I would ask them to just consider opening their mind and their heart to a different point of view, an experience that may be more, less, more this, just different than theirs. Not to make anybody wrong, but to understand one another. Have you ever been convinced that you should change your belief or your heart because somebody shamed you or bullied you? I've never decided to agree with someone because they called me ignorant or hateful. Instead, what's happened is that it shut down the conversation and I've turned away. And yes, this can apply for any of these hot button issues, but it also applies for grief, and that's why I'm talking about it here so much. I remember somebody telling me again and again and again, you never get over this. When she asked how my husband and I were doing, and I said we were doing very well, and so were our surviving sons. She said, no, you don't get over this. This is going to be with you forever. There could be no conversation about, I'm always going to think about my son. I'm always going to wish he were here at family events with me in a different way than I believe he is. That was not okay. She needed to hammer home because that was her belief. She wasn't open to a conversation. I want to encourage you, whether you're talking about your preference for coffee or tea or something else in the morning, whether you're talking about your hard and fast belief, knowing about what food is right for your body, your style of eating, exercise, transportation, or anything else. I believe we grow We understand and we connect when we are open to hearing someone else's point of view. Years ago, I did a lot of driving, and I used to listen to a lot of talk radio. And it wasn't always because I agreed with the host. In fact, I often had vehement disagreements. Here's some reasons why I did that. It helped me to see other points of view, hear, understand other points of view. And when I disagreed, I understood more fully why I disagreed. When I did agree, I understood more fully. The same is true for grief. I know a woman who's a writer. Oh my goodness. In fact, I encourage you to go visit Amazon and buy her books. Jan McDaniel. She is a gentle, wise author. And she teaches an awful lot of journaling, because that is an immense help for her. Other people I know don't find comfort in journaling, and there could be various reasons. Something I hear quite commonly is that people have concerns about privacy if they write things out. What if someone reads and misinterprets or shames and blames them, or finds out something they don't want them to know? It doesn't mean that journaling may not be beneficial. Maybe it will. Maybe it's not for them because it brings up something else. Hard and fast rarely serves us. As you're on this grief journey, I don't know what your circle of support looks like. I encourage you to be open to various options. It might be your most close family and friends, and if so, I hope that helps you and them. It might be people that you've never met in person, that you interact with on the internet, or Zoom, or something else. I guess Zoom would be the internet, wouldn't it? Maybe it's a neighborhood grief group. Maybe it's something different. I encourage you to be open to having the conversation with others about what helps, and picking and choosing. This feels okay for me right now. This one, not so much. Maybe I'll put it on a shelf and consider it later. Even in my own life, I think about how things shifted. Earlier this year, I said, I'm going to retire. And I didn't completely retire, but I slipped into it to a large degree. And I realize now, full retirement just is not taking for me. I'm reshaping the way I'm doing things. Within a few days, my website will be live again. I will be working in different ways than I did before. Does that mean that the way I worked before was wrong? It doesn't. It means I'm finding what's right for me now. Wherever you are in your life, whatever your beliefs and your understandings are, I encourage more communication, less demonizing. Most of us have views shift and change based on our own life experience and based on people that we care about, people we trust, things that we read and hear. How about you? The more we are open to becoming clear about what we think and feel and why, the better we are able to connect with others, to see them as humans who have value and meaning, to respect and understand. We may or may not disagree, but when we're connected in a way that's respectful, we are stronger. Yep, this absolutely applies to any issue you can think about, whether it's to have the maple tree or the oak in your yard, or it's about what color ink to use, political issues, health issues, grief. I want to understand what works for someone else. And it is my honor to share with others what has been so supportive and helpful for me, for the coaches that I train, and for the clients that I work with. There is more than one way to see, to understand, and to experience almost anything we talk about. Okay, time for me to jump off now. So I want to wish you a very gentle day, a healing day, of understanding others and of feeling understood and respected yourself, because that's so very important. I'm Sandy Walden from Serenity, your Master Grief Coach and Master Grief Coach Trainer. Namaste.